Hey there! It's been a minute since our last meeting here on the tube, so let's make it a doozy. Today, I'm gonna show you how to merge your fear of the government's lizard people and your nightmares of clowns. So let's get to it, shall we? Rather than show you the lumps of clay and how they went into this, let's just focus on how I made the piece over it. The only thing I advise is carving down to the face cast over your eye so you can see out of both eyes, just in case. Then I made a bunch of horns and teeth out of air dry clay. I would recommend against this unless you have super lightweight clay, as these made the piece pretty heavy. Then I covered everything in a layer of liquid latex and added about 2 to 3 layers of latex and tissue before adding a final coat of latex. Then I powdered and pulled it off and then put it back onto my sculpt to paint. I did the mouths first in case I wanted to put the teeth in sooner. And I painted the clown white and shaded in some details that got lost from the latex buildup. I painted the big spines black to grey and adhered them to the sculpt with hot glue. Then I added paper frills to the lizard and just stuck them on with PVA glue. It ain't touching my face, so it should be fine. Then I hot glued on more horns. And super close up here to show you how I added a bunch of scales by dotting on hot glue. And then I painted the lizard side. Black to the horns, a green base, and adding different shades of green to the scales. And painting the eye kind of goat eye style, and the frills black to green gradients. Application time. First, I'm going to do my poor man's bald cap. Y'all have seen it a bunch, so I ain't gonna bore you. This time I'm only latexing where it's going to be visible, i.e. not the back of my head, or the side where the wig is going to sit, or the lizard side. Then I add a dodgy clown ruffle, paint the clown side white, and add some interest to the clown side with some grey wrinkles, multicoloured circles, and then a final shade with black eyeshadow. Super quick, because if you are crazy and want to wear this, might as well sacrifice a clown costume rather than painting one. Here's some unnecessary steps for you. I wanted the merge for the clown to the lizard to be 3D on the chest, so I latexed the clown collar to my skin. Do this. The effect is so minimal and it's a bugger to get off. Even if you remove it properly with removers, still hurts a bunch. Another unnecessary step is a shoulder pad for the horns. I thought this would even out the sides since it's kind of more clown side heavy, but I think the horns do that pretty well. Now, sticking on this big prosthetic mask was a little hard because of all the clay that I had put into the mask. It was pretty heavy, so I couldn't just adhere it to my face, I had to support it at the back. So I ended up getting someone to help me with this. I put a little bit of adhesive on the clown side and stuck that down to my face and held it up while someone helped adhere the back. So most of the lizard side is actually supported around the back of my head rather than my face piece. Once it was secure, I went and blended the edges. Liquid latex where the edges were thin, cotton latex where they were not. I didn't align it quite right, so I had to blend some of the edges, more than I thought I would need to. Also, I'm not being really neat about this. The clown has rough skin and the parts near the merge can be wavy and big. I had to merge the frills with the latex too, so I added some latex and tissue and latex and cotton for that. Then I had to go at adhering the horns. I first tried with clay, but again they were too heavy, so only the shortest little clay spines would stick. So I made some out of paper instead. These were much lighter but also harder to adhere as they had very little area at the base. So I ended up wrapping them in a liquid latex saturated cotton ball and used that to help them stick on. Then I painted my exposed skin, again only where it's going to be visible. And then I used that paint to help the merge be more obvious where the lizard and the clown are merging. Green for the lizard, white for the clown. And don't go too neat crazy for this, you can be messy. Now here I add some wrinkles to the crown, smile lines, etc. But I thought I had black on my brush, but upon blending it out with white, I realized there was also some purple in it somehow. So I ended up having to go back over the purple bits with some yellow-white mix. You didn't think you'd see color correcting in this kind of tutorial, did ya? Now my poor man's bald cap managed to have a gap above my sideburns, but that happened to be a godsend as it allowed me to clip on this wig, which is just a cheap clown wig folded in half about the wig cap. To keep it on the back, I ended up using a headband horizontally, which kept it on but also gave me a killer headache. The final steps include painting the lizard side with greens and blacks, adding more of the merge onto the chest, and adding some 2D scales with different shades of green. Don't go for the hot glue scale method here, folks. And some more green to the clown ruffles, some clowny eye makeup to the good side and in the merge, and some wrinkle matching of the neck to the face. You always gotta match your neck's foundation to your face foundation. This needed just a little bit more of a creepy factor. It just wasn't creepy enough. So I added some contacts. These are Wild Blood by Colorboo, which is pretty much just copying Raw Beauty Christie's clown. I ain't ashamed, and that's all, folks. You are done. Make sure to get a crick in your neck if you wear this, angling your head to the side all the time. Seriously, I know no one is gonna do this, but I hope you enjoyed watching it anyway. Stay classy, peeps, and I'll see you soon for something interesting this December.
I think I'm done.